Welcome to Connecting the Community podcast. I am your host, Marj Andre. I will be connecting you to people, organizations, and events that create community. I am creating this podcast in Richmond Hill, an eclectic and very culturally diverse community with lots of trees and streams and interesting people, just up the hill from Toronto. On this podcast, I'm talking with Susan Walmer, the CEO of the Oak Ridges Moraine Land Trust. We're going to talk about the Oak Ridges Moraine Land Trusts and the special event, their 25th anniversary celebration, happening October 5th. Welcome, Susan.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing very well. I am very glad that we have found the time to do this podcast, and I've got lots of questions for you. I would like you to start by introducing yourself. Like, what's your background? What qualifies you to be a CEO of the Oak Ridges Moraine Land Trust? And do you have a background in environmental science?
Very good question. It's been a long and winding road for me, just as it has been with, I think, many people in their careers. I started out as a professional advisor and worked for a lot of financial corporations downtown, trust companies, American Express, various large companies like that. During that time frame, I also school got my CPA and my CMA at night school while I was working, which many people do and did. So that allowed me to be able to better manage funds and programs and staff as I was developing my career. So I brought those tools to the Oak Ridges Moraine when I became more involved as I was having my family and got more involved in the protection of the Oak Ridges Moraine in the 90s. And that sort of veered my path off into more of the environmental field, but still using all the skill sets that I'd earned and used for large corporations to manage them.
Okay. So you do not have a degree in environmental science?
I don't. I just have a love of it, as many people do. As kids, we were 4 kids and a dog in a station wagon with a trailer and went out and enjoyed the nature and camping and always loved it and thought it was a wonderful place to be. And as I became more involved in advocacy for the Oak Ridges Moraine, I lived right on the Oak Ridges Moraine where the big battles were happening across Richmond Hill and Aurora. And so I was fully geared up to become an activist for protecting that environment.
Let's start with a discussion as to what a land trust is. Like, I know not everyone knows what a land trust actually is.
You're right. And a lot of people hear the word trust and think that we hold funds or we manage funds. Well, we're a trust, but we hold and manage lands. Many times those lands are donated to us, or in the occasion that we are able to raise funds through the province and the federal government and private donors, we're able to purchase lands. Right now, we have a couple of projects where we're actually restoring farmlands and restoring them for native species at risk. So a lot of different things come into play with that in the land trust. We're a registered charity and incorporated in 2000. And we also have a board of directors that's very active and looks after what we're doing and provides direction. The board provides direction, and the staff articulate that and make those actions happen.
Okay, very good. Now, how much land do you have?
That's a good question. It keeps growing, but right now we have 5,367 acres, so that's 2,171 hectares. They're all ecologically significant lands and habitat on or near the moraine. And the equation we kind of use is that's about 4,000 football fields. So it goes from Caledon in the west all the way to Northumberland in the East Moraine.
Whoa, that is quite a distance. And yeah, so it's I hope people look at the map and see actually where your land is, because it is spread over large tract of land. So I feel we need to talk about the Oak Ridges Moraine. Now, The moraine is unique for its geology, flora, fauna, and I believe we could have a course. We could have at least a several hour discussion on what the Oak Ridges Moraine, what a moraine is. But can you give us a brief synopsis?
That is a hard thing to do, Marge, but I will tell you, we do sessions on this, and actually our website, people can go to the website and there's some past sessions where they can find more information out. But really, it's seen from a significant landform, seen from space, has its rolling hills and valleys all throughout the land, and it was formed 12,000 years ago by advancing and retreating glaciers. Rivers and lakes are scattered all across the landscape. Beautiful habitat for and a diversity of animals and trees and vegetation. Also, a lot of fresh water and the aquifers. So, one of the important things that came to light in the 90s and when they were looking at protection was, what about the water that's under the moraine and the aquifers? They were formed with glaciers and had deposits of soil and water beneath the moraine. So that ended up being one of the main reasons, I think, at the same time that the public was becoming involved in what was happening in the moraine, the province and the provincial bodies were looking at, well, how do we protect this? And they all kind of I would say sort of happened at the same time, so that the public and the government were all together on making sure we did protect the moraine.
Okay. So you've talked about protection, but is it threatened now? I had thought back decades ago that things were resolved, but is that the case?
So in most cases, the Act has protected the most significant types of land. So we all know, we all live in houses, we all enjoy that benefit. There has to be somewhere for people to live and build. The Act set out the areas that were less significant and maybe running along some of the major roads already had settlement on them. There were settlement areas for towns, and we said, okay, those are the areas where we're gonna let the development happen. And then the areas that has significant features on them, we're going to reduce the availability. So the Oakridges Moraine Act, for anybody who's really interested in it, is online, and it does have the various areas across the entire moraine that have different levels of protection and different abilities for development. And we usually send people that contact us and say, can we build on this property? We say, hey, go look here, and then go to your municipality and find out, because it's different throughout all of the municipalities across the moraine.
Okay, good answer. So can people access the land? Like, are there trails? Can you go for a walk, camp? What can you do on the Oak Ridges Moraine?
Well, so you can do all of those things in public areas, but of course, there's a lot of property that is protected either by ourselves. Most of those properties, a lot of them are held still by private owners, and you can, as the lands are sold, they're bought again by another person. That new person has to follow the restrictions within the easement that they're taking over from the previous owner. And then we have nature reserves that we were able to purchase or were donated to us directly. Those ones we hold as the Oakridges Moraine Land Trust. They are not open to the public because they are key significant features on them. And as we all know, those are best protected without human interference in many cases. So those are protected land and aren't.
Okay. So who are some of the other allies of the Oak Ridges Moraine other than your land trust?
Well, there's a land trust community across Ontario and actually across Canada. So there are land trusts from sea to sea, from the East Coast out to BC. We're actually holding our annual conference out in BC this year. So there's a number of land trusts. You can find them just Google them on the computer, and you'll find all the ones that are here in Ontario under Ontario Land Trust Alliance, and then you'll find the other ones across the country, and those have access to the moraine, and they look after the moraine. We work with the Greenbelt Foundation, who's very involved with, again, helping protect that trail and protecting the land across the moraine. So a lot of different people, I think, use the moraine, appreciate it. And a lot of people that come out that are birders and hikers, hiking on the moraine is a wonderful opportunity for people. We've out in the land is a way to replenish and refresh yourself. A lot of people have concerns about being there, especially if they're not, if they're new to this country, or if they come from countries where it wasn't necessarily safe to be out in the countryside. But Canada is, I think, one of the most safest countries in the world. And I think that getting people out in nature makes them decompress. I know I'm always in a much calmer state of mind once I've gone for a walk or sat by a stream or listened to the birds. It always takes me to a different place. And I think that's one of the benefits of the Oak Ridges Moraine and the benefits of nature for all Canadians.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you love nature, you're more apt to want to protect it. So I fully support that. Now, you do have your 25th anniversary celebration, the afternoon of Sunday, October the 5th. Please tell us about it.
Absolutely. 25 years. Yeah, we've been, we realized it was coming up fast, and it always goes faster than you think. Like I said, I remember being, as a not involved with the land trust because it hadn't been formed yet, but seeing what was happening, and it astounds me that many years have gone by in a flash. What's happened over the years, of course, is that more people got involved. So as the land trust was formed in 2000, we also said, hey, we need to celebrate. And so we'll be celebrating at the Trail Hub, which is in Uxbridge. Beautiful spot. If people haven't been there or don't know where it is, it's at the height of the land in Uxbridge. It used to be a ski, downhill ski area. And at the top where the Trail Hub is now, you can look out, and on a clear day, which doesn't happen all the time, but on a clear day, you can almost see the other side of Lake Ontario. That's how high it is. The person who took the ski operation over built a beautiful restaurant and building at the top of there, that hill, and it's just amazing. There's bike trails there. They have a wonderful chef and cuisine there. So we are hosting on Sunday, October 5th, from about 2 to 5 p.m. We'll be hosting various speakers, live music, of course, a wonderful food that the Trail Hub puts on, and gathering with other like-minded people who, understand and appreciate nature and want to see it protected. So we encourage everyone to go to our website and take a look at the links that'll carry you through to the 25th anniversary for tickets. And please feel free to join us. We're very excited to celebrate this milestone of our history, but I think it's also part of the history for all Ontarians too.
So is it a fundraiser or just a fun event?
Well, it's both. It's both, March. We got to wrap the two together, right? And absolutely, it is a fundraiser. It is a celebration of our 25th. There'll be various things happening during the day. It'll any of the proceeds that we receive from this event will go towards protecting land.
What is your goal? Do you have written down what you hope to achieve for the land trust?
Short term, right now, we're looking at how many more properties can we protect, how many more can we manage, and there's always the need to protect more land. So as you see it, double or triple in the next 5 to 10 years, because I think that we're going to see more and more population growth and more need for expansion.
Now, people may want to get involved. They can come to the event, but how else could they get involved, be supportive?
Well, there's on our website, they can become a donor. We have volunteers that we use a lot to go out on properties with us and assist us with properties visits or helping us with pulling invasives, which I'm sure lots of people don't want to do, but sadly, there's invasives everywhere out in the forest, and just become involved, right? Reach out if you like, you know, I don't know, planting or pulling things or just getting out in nature. You know, that even that little step of doing that for yourself and to your kids, hopefully will build a generation going forward that will understand, whether it be people, plants, animals. It's vital to our long-term growth. And
Thank you, Susan, for taking the time to do this podcast.
thank you very much for Marj for asking me, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again. And love to hear more about what's happening with your endeavors as well.
Thank you for listening. I would very much appreciate you sharing this podcast. Consider emailing me at Marj, M-A-R-J, at marjandre.com. I welcome suggestions for podcast guests. Stay well, stay connected.